Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do the usual disclaimers, if you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shack campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non for profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused, so you know the drill. Please read that article. Share it on all your social media. Also included in there is NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC actually sees through with their threat. Trigger warning one, when we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Center and Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please go ahead and use the headphones. Trigger warning 2, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is advised. All right, folks, where we left off. In the proposed rule, the FDA acknowledged that ESDs may cause the immediate interruption of an SIB or AB if the shock was applied while the SIB or AB is occurring. Again, I will use my analogy. If somebody punches me in the face, I'm probably going to stop for a second, but that doesn't mean the punch to the face was justified. Whereas doing something such as, hey, Tiff, might actually accomplish the same effect without causing me physical damage. We explained also that some evidence suggests ESDs reduce SIB or AB in some individuals, but this evidence cannot be generalized because the studies suffer from serious limitations such as weak design, small design, confounding factors, outdated standards for study conduct, and study specific methodological limitations. Thank you. In other words, no corroboration of any kind. It is just trust me, bruh data. But fortunately for us, that's not how science works. Science doesn't work off of trust me, bruh. We are also concerned about the potential bias in some of the evidence of effectiveness related to lack of peer review and conflicts of interest. Shots fired! Shots fired! Yes! Thank you! The data that is provided that is current is coming from the JRC itself. Those studies have not been peer reviewed by no one. There's been no peer review. There was no panel. There was no scrutiny and testing. Nothing. Nothing. Shots fired. Please and thank you. Also, if it is your ass that's being held to the fire, you you can't just say, here, this is my data showing I'm right. Not how any of this works. Oh. You can't submit your own data from the test that you cooked up. Confirmation bias is just one of the few. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was cathartic. Other evidence shows that ESDs are completely ineffective for certain individuals. For these reasons, the FDA concluded that the evidence is sufficient to show that ESDs may interrupt behaviors when a shock is applied, but the evidence is otherwise inconclusive and does not establish that ESDs improve the underlying condition in individuals to achieve durable reduction of SIB or AB or clinically meaningful period of time. So let's put that in layman's terms. Essentially, what they're saying here is that maybe it does stop it for a moment, but all we have is the JRC's word for it, which is beyond unreliable. That's number one. Number two, that device has not been proven by the JRC to improve the condition of the patient themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, this form of treatment is not providing room for growth. It's only a subtraction of a behavior for 5 minutes. Okay? Also, there are individuals, I'm not one of them, but there are individuals that no matter what you do to them, they're going to keep coming. I'll use the 250-pound man on PCP again, where you may have like all the stun guns on the guy, and brother's still not going. He's getting shocked, running, and dragging the tasers with him. Okay? Therefore, it would not be effective in modifying Jack for individuals that are like that. For other individuals, it will stop the behavior all of 5 minutes, remove the threat, and the behavior remains. It sometimes intensifies because that's the fun part of PTSD when you're a neurodivergent. When you have those PTSD moments, you really lean in involuntarily on some of your worst autistic traits. Trust me on that one. I've been through it more than enough times to be able to speak from experience there. So, essentially, they're saying that JRC cannot prove conclusively that it stops all ESDs and SIBs and ABs. They also cannot be trusted in regards to that because major conflict of interest. You can't submit your own data when it's your methodology that's on the line. You have to produce something that is from a completely different and removed peer review. Okay? That's what they're saying here. Makes sense, doesn't it? Sounds logical and coherent? Yeah. I will bring up again though, because I'm tired of seeing it. It's like, but what if it did though? Would you do it? No, it's still wrong. But there are many people who still believe it's right, but they'll send me on another rant, and I got one more video to do. So I'll go ahead and close off for this one, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do get tend to get removed from time to time. If you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit those comments. I appreciate your time, and as always, folks, we here at Smelling Tea do hope you have a good one. I'll see you again here in a little bit. Bye-bye, everyone.